What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I am wrestling with myself. I meant to post this last night. Survivor Series 2016 is come and gone, and wow, it was a big, shocking, surprising, angering, maddening kind of event. A lot of stuff happened, mostly bad. I wanted to post this last night, but I was just so exhausted from doing a book release party this weekend. My book came out, and I shot a movie as well, so I was very tired, just passed out right after the show. Long show. I want to save most of my ranting and conjecture for the Goldberg versus Lesnar match, so I'll get through the other ones really quickly. I did see TakeOver Toronto as well on Sunday. I watched it on Sunday. Very good overall show. Top to bottom, excellent. The tag title match with DIY and the Revival was great. Good main event, good overall show. Nothing bad on it. So I didn't want to do a whole video for that, but I will quickly get to Survivor Series. I did not see the two pre-show matches. I was not watching a 7-hour show. There was a 6-man cruiserweight tag match, which I imagine was good but tiring. Rich Swann gets the win. Kane versus Luke Harper was the other pre-show match. Kane wins clean with a chokeslam. The treatment of Luke Harper in this and protecting Kane for no reason makes me so angry. Luke Harper is one of the best workers in the company. He has a great character. He could potentially be a great Bruiser Brody top heel, and he's not being used well. He's losing to older guys like Kane who don't need the win and don't need protected. That's a maddening situation for another time. All in all, I did not like the Survivor Series show at all. I think it was one of the worst, if not the worst, pay-per-view of the year. Poor booking decisions, no stakes in the big matches. Nothing really to care about. Again, I complained before there were no stakes in these matches, and it showed here. But there were some good things, so I'll get right into the main show that I did see right now. The main show opens with a women's 5-on-5 Elimination Survivor Series style match. I won't name the competitors. If you're watching this, you know who the 5-on-5 were. They did set up a Nikki Bella injury angle, possibly giving it to Natalya, possibly giving it to somebody else who may return or debut. So they did forward an angle there. Natalya replaces Nikki in the 5-on-5 match. This wasn't a very good match. It was very choppy in spots. There was a lot of botches, a lot of missed drop kicks, clotheslines. It was just very out of place. It wasn't all bad. Of course, the workers tried, but it was just very out of place and didn't feel. The crowd wasn't really into it. It felt very slow and choppy. The eliminations kind of came out of nowhere. Sasha going out early kind of was weird. Carmella just didn't look good in this match at all. Her offense looked really fake, and she missed a lot of stuff. It just I didn't care much for this. The end comes when, coolly enough, one positive thing: Alexa Bliss gets an elimination with Twisted Bliss. I like her a lot. She's great. The crowd liked her. Becky Lynch taps out Nia Jax in a big feat, giving her a nice big rub here. That was well done. And in the end, Charlotte and Bayley survive, pinning Becky Lynch in the end. So they are the sole survivors, and then Charlotte takes out Bayley and attacks her at the end. So Charlotte and Bayley survive. Well done. Charlotte and Bayley are aiming toward an angle. I imagine in the next few months they'll be feuding for the Raw Women's title, so at least they further a storyline here. That's a big positive. But overall, I didn't like the match at all. Then we had The Miz versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. Match was fine. Both guys are good workers. Miz is a great heel. Sami Zayn obviously is one of the best workers in the company. I just didn't care for this. Even though there were stakes in this match, the IC belt was on the line, the crowd just seemed kind of dead after the intros, and it kind of just dragged on. I also had a couple network problems, but my feed was really bad yesterday. I had a lot of pauses and delays and kicking me off the network. It just had a lot of problems with my feed on the network. Again, this is kind of sleepy. It was a good match. Both guys are good, but it didn't feel special. Nothing big really happened. Miz gets the win with chicanery. Maurice rings the bell. Zayn gets distracted. Miz gets the win. Whatever. This was fine. Nothing bad. I love both the workers, but I just didn't care much for the match. And then we had the Tag Team Eliminations 10-on-10 match. This was fun. It started a little bit slow, but wound up being really, really good by the end. Cesaro was on fire in this match, as you would expect. A lot of surprise eliminations here. New Day goes out right away. Very surprising. I was pretty sure American Alpha was going to survive at the end, and they got taken out fairly fast. Surprise there. I don't know why that was done. So it comes down to, in the end, the Usos up against... who the heck was it? The Usos up against... Was it Enzo and Cass? I can't even recall it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Cesaro and Sheamus. Yeah, which is really curious. The eliminations in this match were weird. And again, it did start slow, but it wound up being really good in the last half of this match, so I did enjoy this match overall, even though there's no real stakes. Cesaro and Sheamus get the surprise win here with the sharpshooter to a huge pop in Canada. The crowd loved that and loved this whole last half of the match, so that was fun. Cesaro and Sheamus are getting a tag title shot against New Day tomorrow for winning, so they did put some stakes in after the fact. They should have announced this beforehand, that the winning team would get a tag title match or something like that, but they announced it after at least, so that's good. Cesaro and Sheamus win, pretty good match, cool. Then we had the Cruiserweight Championship match. Brian Kendrick defends against Callisto, and if Callisto wins, the whole division goes over to SmackDown. Good match. The crowd did not give a shit. The crowd was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. This was just so quiet, and these two guys worked their butts off. This was a good match. They did a lot of cool stuff. Kendrick using parts of the ring to his favor again, using the steps. Good heel tactics. Good promo before the match. And then at one point, Callisto does a C4, a Spanish fly, off the apron onto the floor. Amazing. Callisto always has those big spots. Both guys worked their butts off. Really good match. I really enjoyed the ring work. Crowd didn't care, so it kind of killed it. But what killed it even more was the finish. Baron Corbin, who was injured 6 days ago and taken out of the Survivor Series match, comes back healthy out of nowhere and attacks Kendrick and Callisto. He hits Kendrick first and then lays Callisto out with the End of Days. So Kendrick being hit first gets the win. Callisto gets disqualified. So this whole thing with this whole angle, you end in a random DQ from a guy who's supposed to be hurt. So really bad booking, lame ending, stupid storyline there. All to keep the Cruiserweight division on Raw, which is a bad move. Hopefully it gets switched again because 205 Live is on Thursdays, and they're not going to fly the division back and forth before Raw and SmackDown because 205 Live is shot after SmackDown, so it makes no sense to be on Tuesdays or to be on Mondays. It's floundering on Raw and 205 Live's after SmackDown, so this makes no sense. Bad decision, bad booking, poor ending. I didn't like it at all. Then we had the men's 5-on-5 Elimination Tag, and this was a very good match overall. 53 minutes long, very, very long match. Not all good in parts. A lot of bad, a lot of good. They had some good spots. Shane doing the flying table elbow from inside to outside on Strowman was good. James Ellsworth holding Strowman's legs to get him counted out was good. Strowman throwing Styles over the top rope blindly was scary, but was an awesome spot. Throwing Ellsworth, staying strong after being eliminated, off the stage through a table was great. The Shield reuniting because Styles and Ambrose cost each other the match. And eventually Reigns and Rollins save Ambrose from being kicked out. They all triple team powerbomb Styles for a Shield reunion. Got a huge pop. That was great. Shane jumping off for the coast to coast and getting speared by Reigns in midair was great. Even though it was scary because Shane got hurt and hopefully he's okay. But I think he is because Randy Orton told his kids he was okay. Rollins being caught mid frog splash in the air into an RKO was great. And in the end, Wyatt getting the pin on Reigns to win. It wound up being Orton and Wyatt against Reigns. Orton sacrifices himself for Wyatt. Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail on Reigns, and Wyatt gets the win. Curious booking, but at least Wyatt's kept strong. And there are a lot of good spots in this. It was long and it drug out, and there was some bad stuff. But there was a lot of good spots, and SmackDown gets a much-needed big win. Now for the main event, Goldberg versus Lesnar. Where do I begin? There's not much to talk about in the match because the match lasted 1 minute and 20 seconds. Under 1.5 minutes, this match was. Good promos, good entrance by Goldberg. Crowd was hot. The match starts. They lock up. Goldberg pushes Lesnar down in the lockup. Spears him once. Spears him twice. Jackhammer. Pin. 1 minute and 20 seconds. And the Beast is slayed. What a horrible, horrible ending. Not only is this a bad decision in terms of wasting this Lesnar push. Now, it feels to me like, I say this hyperbolically, wrestling is dead. The future of WWE has been killed in this. Now, again, that sounds like a big gut overreaction. That's obviously hyperbole. I'm obviously speaking purposely comically here. But honestly, this was really, really stupid. Not only are you cheating your fans who paid thousands and thousands of dollars for tickets, and you hype this big main event Clash of the Titans fantasy warfare, all this big hype that goes into this, and you end it as a blowout squash match in 1 minute and 20 seconds, and you cheat your audience, and you cheat all your fans who paid for tickets, and you leave everyone with a sour taste in their mouths, and you book it that poorly. That's one thing, and that's terrible, and I hate it. But to go forward, Lesnar has been built up as this unstoppable beast for over 2 years. He hasn't lost or been pinned in years. He beats Taker's streak. He's the 1-21-1. He's the chosen one. He beats CM Punk when Punk was on a roll. He squashes John Cena and throws him around for 16 suplexes at SummerSlam. He kills Randy Orton at this year's SummerSlam and destroys him, makes him bloody. He's unbeatable for all this. He beats Taker all these times. He squashes Ambrose in a disappointing WrestleMania match. He beats Wyatt and Harper at house shows. He's doing all this unbeatable build-up where he squashes your entire roster, all because you want to give this guy the one to conquer the beast. You want to give an up-and-coming young star, a Styles, a Wyatt, a Joe, a Nakamura, an Ambrose. You want to give somebody, a Luke Harper. You want to give someone the one to beat the one who beat the streak. The one guy to beat the guy who beat Taker. You want to give somebody their career made in one night by being the one to beat Lesnar, putting over one of your young stars, over this indestructible 2+ year force. And you give it to a 50-year-old man who hasn't wrestled a match in 12 years. I don't care that he was big in 1998. This is 2016. He's 50 years old. He hasn't wrestled since 2004. And you're going to give this guy the one to beat Lesnar? You wasted the Taker streak on a guy who gets beat by Goldberg in 1 and 20 seconds. You've destroyed Goldberg now. You've taken away the Beast Incarnate gimmick. You've taken away the unbeatable factor and the enigma of Lesnar. You've taken away the reason for being undefeated for 2 years. You took away the streak. And you've shown us that your entire current roster sucks because nobody could touch Lesnar. Nobody could even keep Lesnar down for a 2 count or even knock him down barely. You never saw Lesnar on defense against any of the current roster. And you have him get beat by a guy who's a one-off part-timer who may or may not ever come back again. This could be his last match. There's rumors he's coming back for Royal Rumble and Goldberg. But either way, you screw over your entire roster and make them all look like no one can beat Lesnar. They're all inferior to him. And now he gets beat by a 1998 nostalgia act. So you've killed Lesnar now, and you've killed your entire roster because all those guys, Punk when he was there, Cena, Orton, Ambrose, Reigns, all those guys that lost to him in convincing fashion. Now he's lost to Goldberg, so nobody's credible on your roster. All your current roster sucks. Nostalgia acts are all that's left, and you've killed the future of the business. So that's what I think about that. I hate it. It's the worst decision since the finger poke of doom, if not worse. You effectively have killed and took a big shit on Taker, on Lesnar, on your entire roster, and you've hurt your fans, and you've given us a bad match on top of it, and a squash match that they paid tickets for. So what do you guys think? Tell me down below. Am I overreacting? I'm sure I'll get a lot of feedback for this one. This has been Wrestling with Myself. That's Survivor Series. The show gets a D overall. I don't like anything about the show. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Until then, guys, I'll see you all real soon.